Hey guys, Erin here with LaCkore Couture, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a beaded bracelet. But before we do that, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get right into it. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a beaded bracelet. Now, there's a few things that you're going to need in order to get started. And the first thing I'm going to recommend is our Stretch Magic string. Okay, this elastic string is by far my favorite. It's super, super durable, and I've been using this for years. It's in the 0.7 millimeters. Then you're going to need a bunch of beads. And beads you could buy anywhere from Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, and they could be super inexpensive to very, very expensive gemstones. It really just depends on what you're going for. But today I'm just going to be using these black obsidian beads that I have. And something else that's important, you're going to also want to have a bead board. Now this is going to be able to help you determine the size of your bracelet, and this is going to help with measuring that. Now for a standard size wrist, it's about 7 inches long. So on here, the 0 is going to be the center point, and you're going to go to 3.5 and to 3.5 on each side, and that's going to be about a 7-inch wrist. Now, if you have a little bit of a larger wrist, I would recommend going 4 to 4, which would be about an 8-inch wrist. So you're also going to need a pair of scissors, and that's just to cut your string. So I always say cut about a foot of string. And to help me not lose any beads, I always do a little knot at the end of my string. So I do 1, 2, and I just knot that string. Now, to help my bracelet's elasticity, I give it a good little stretch before I start beading, and this just really helps for wearing it and having a little bit more stretch. Okay, so now you're going to take that knot side down, and you're going to hold the other part of your bracelet. But before you do that, you're going to just put this aside. And the first thing I like to do is actually lay out my beads, and I make the pattern on the board before I start stringing. So I'm just doing a very, very simple pattern just to teach you guys how to actually do a beaded bracelet. But you can get really intricate with it, and you can do little spacer beads and mix them in. But again, today for this purpose, I'm just doing a very, very simple bracelet. And again, these are obsidian 8mm beads that I'm using. Now, the 0 is going to be the part of the bracelet that would be on the top. So you could do a pendant, a name, and for today's purpose for the video, I'm going to be doing my name, Erin. So I'm going to actually put Erin in the middle of my bracelet. And I'm just going to fill in the beads all the way around. And again, with beads, you can actually get them super affordable. Like I said, at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. And honestly, the strands can range from like $1.99 all the way up to $10. Obviously, for my jewelry brand, I use super high-end materials that I get from wholesalers. But if you're just doing this as a hobby or to make something for friends or family, definitely I would just hit the stores. They've got plenty of options, and they're super affordable, and they always have coupons. Okay, now I have my bracelet laid out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that elastic that I put aside, make sure that knot is face side down, and I'm just going to string my beads from left to right, and you could do it from right to left, whatever works for you. And as you can see, it's just going to drop to the bottom of my elastic, and I'm going to just follow my pattern like so. Now this part's important. If you're doing a name in the middle, or if you're doing a word in the middle, you want to make sure that all those letters are facing the correct way. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people put the letters upside down, and it's so frustrating because they've already strung their bracelet. So make sure when you're putting them on that they're all facing the correct way, upright and towards the right. E, R, I, N. And I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to continue with the remainder of my beads. And then I'll show you guys how we're going to finish the knot. Oops. Runaway bead. That happens a lot. At the end of every night, I always go around my studio and pick up all the beads that I dropped from the day. Okay, so now this is really important. So some people don't mind seeing the knot, but some people really don't like seeing the knot. So what I recommend if you want to hide your knot is finding a bead that has a larger hole. Usually we call this a bail. I'm just using a little pony bead that I had on hand because it has a larger hole. And what you're going to do is finish your piece off with that bead. Now you're going to take your 2 strands. I always say to move the beads towards the middle, hanging kind of like a smiley face. And then you're going to go 1 strand on top of each other, and you're going to work it down. And then you're going to go right on top of that string, go 1 over the other, tuck it in, and then when you pull, if I leave it like this, I'm going to have a big space, but so you want to really pull it tight. And to finish it, I do 1 more knot. And you could see that knot is now hidden inside of that larger bail bead. I'm just going to take my scissors, cut the excess string, and I have a beautiful bracelet. Hopefully this helped you guys learn how to make a beaded bracelet. And if you want to check out my jewelry and other videos, check out the links in the description below and help support the channel. And if you want to learn more about fashion, LaCkore Couture, and fun, click one of the videos above me, and I'll see you in the next one.